Welcome back to the lounge. If you like being here, I love having you. Listen, I always say I got a banger, right? But I have a book. And I hope that he makes it into a series. Ladarian Williams, if I'm saying your name right, Ladarian Williams, shake my hand. Shake my hand, Ladarian Williams. Blood at the Root. Blood at the Root, ladies and gentlemen. Blood at the Root is a 5-star, 5-bookmark classic. I'm calling it. It's a 5-bookmark classic. I don't get ratio and everything like that, but this is a for us, by us magical book. This is the African Americans. This need to be studied in the African American studies classes for our version of Harry Potter. And with no further ado, because I got to get right into the book. This is going to be all spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, please, I'm going to put it in the something somewhere where it's going to just say spoilers. But you got Malik Barron, who comes home after a fateful night on July 4th. He's 7 years old and he sees his mother being surrounded by 4 people in like black trench coats and black like attire. And at that moment, I would say at that moment, he knew he messed up. Everything in the house goes array, fire everywhere. Malik sees at 7 years old, he sees his mother being engulfed in a green light or green orb, and boom, she vanishes. Everybody in the house is killed, burnt up everywhere. So Malik has to leave. Obviously, everybody in the town thought he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like they was blaming him for what happened to his mother. They think he killed his mother, but that's not what happened. And we'll find out later on. The first time Malik finds out that he has his powers is when he's in the orphanage with another girl named Alexis, who he'll meet up with later on. Alexis gets adopted, and then that's when Tay comes in. Tay is like Malik's little brother. He protects him while they're in the orphanage, and they go to live with a parent group of Sonia and Mr. Caldwell. As Malik's, now we fast forward. I like the little time traveling that Ladarian does too in this book, and the time traveling of mine in the class with Dr. Malik class is crazy. But we're going to go forward, fast forward now. Malik is 17. You know, Tay is still staying with Sonia and Mr. Caldwell. So it just shows now he going back to when he shows Malik as an older kid. He emancipated himself. I think he graduated early or got whatever he needed to early so he can get up out their crib, right? So now Malik is 17 years old and he goes back and he wants to go back and get Tay. Even with his powers, Malik still feels like he's like a Negro in the street. So he steals this car. And he basically want to go and get Tay. And the symbolism that Ladarian, I'm gonna just say LD, the symbolisms that LD uses in the book, it's amazing. Everything that he talks about when he talks about music, when he talks about cultural things, or just the culture in general, I can visualize it. When he's talking about playing Kendrick Lamar, or I got Roy, like everything that he says in this book, it ties into the culture. Going back to Malik, when he uses his magic to steal his car, like sometimes, you know, magic makes him weak, but he gets caught stealing this dude's car and they stomping him out. They basically catch him while he's stealing the car. They beat him up, boom, boom, boom. And then that's when his magic manifests and he fly everybody out the way. You know, he got to make it good. So him and Tay meet up after they leave Miss Sonia crib. He telling him like, yo, open the door. And Tay is like that little brother who you love. You have no choice but to love. He goofy, he innocent, he's smiling, like, and you know he deserves the best. So that's kind of the role that Malik takes on. And him not having his mother for 10 years has definitely, you know, gave him a culture shock on how the world really is. And you get to see that he has to grow up, and he has a lot of anger and a lot of trauma. I like the trauma that LD put in this book when young black kids don't grow up without their parents. But after that, after they about to leave Mr. Caldwell and Sonia crib, they actually come in the house and they catch them leaving. So Malik and Mr. Caldwell have a little spat, and Malik shows him like, yo, ain't nobody scared of you, bro. I got powers. So he grip him up using his powers or whatever, damn near about to kill him. But Miss Sonia, she come in like, no, leave him alone. So then they leave out of there. After they leave out of there, they're driving. They're on their way to California. I ain't gonna say stupid Malik, but not knowing that Tay got a medical condition. This been your brother for so long, you don't realize that he got diabetes. So Tay is knocked out after they forget his insulin, and they got to stop at a gas station. Malik ain't really got no bread, so he go in there. He pleading with the dude, basically like, "Yo, let me get something. I need something to give my brother because his insulin. I guess his insulin is low, or he needed sugar or something. Whatever it was that he was getting sick. He basically, I guess, went into like a diabetic coma, so to say." After that, him and the dude is going back and forth. Malik about to use his powers to kind of, you know what I'm saying, get the stuff that he need for Tay. When all of a sudden he said a dude that came in there looked like a pimp and gives you that classic temptation scene where ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis type of vibes. And he calls him, he says like his name is Osibity Sam or whatever, but you know, call him Sam for short. And he was just basically telling him like, yo, he need to get to LA or whatever the case may be. So then he basically break out of the gas station, leave the gas station. He's about to leave the gas station when Sam came up on the side of him and was like, yo, I think your little brother needs a little bit of help. My accent sucks, but the New Orleans accent is, well, the Alabama accent is crazy. Basically, Sam tells him like, yo, I know who you are, Malik Barrett. You know what I'm saying? Like, give him this so he can go here and you can get him healed up. Basically telling Malik to go to New Orleans. And when I was reading the book, I'm like, yo, this dude just know his whole name, his whole government. So I was like, all right, this dude either family and he was sent there on a mission to kind of like intercede in him going to LA. But instead, he go to New Orleans. Long story short, he feel like he shouldn't go, but he drives to New Orleans. That's when he meets his grandma, Mama Ayu. Once he get to New Orleans and he meet his grandmother, Mama Ayu, Malik is like, he's basically like, once he get down there, he can't believe what's going on. They take Tay in there. They give Tay like a concoction. She says it won't heal his diabetes, but it'll make him better to where he probably won't need as much insulin because, you know, they got that voodoo, not the voodoo magic, but they got that sorcery magic out there. So after he meets his family, you know, the family comes through. Obviously, you know, down south families, they get together when somebody comes through as they've been in the family long. They got a big celebration. And Malik clearly has trauma. He goes off in front of everybody. Like, y'all ain't my real family. Like, y'all wasn't looking for me when I was younger. It's been 10 years. My mother been gone. Nobody came to check for me. So he go off on his aunts, his uncles, Mama Ayu, and all of this stuff because he has built up trauma, which I understand. You know, Tay, so basically they fast forward and here goes Chancellor Terran. Chancellor Terran throughout this book gives me like the Uncle Phil vibes. You know, he wasn't, I'm gonna save that last statement for later, but basically Mama Ayu wants him to enroll into Cayman University, which is a universal college magic school. It's an HBCU magic school for black kids or whatever, people who do magic. So basically the summer semesters, I believe, already started, and Mama Ayu asked Chancellor Terran to let Malik into the school, which he kind of hesitant at first, and later on you're gonna understand why, but he finally breaks down and you know, he lets Malik go to the school, right? So in that moment, we fast forward to Malik is about to leave to go to school. Him and Mama Ayu have a couple of words. He's still kind of going off on her because he feel like, as a grandmother, if you knew your grandson was out there for 10 years, why you never came out there and got me? You know what I'm saying? You had me in this world having to figure out my magic, but when I could have been taught here, y'all could have took me in when my mother was gone. And he just feel like they wasn't giving him the answers. Throughout the book, you get to see that he gets little Easter eggs dropped on him as to why he should go to Cayman University. So he's like, yo, all right, the best way, I need to figure out what happened to my mother, because I know she's not dead. She disappeared because he didn't see the body. It was a flash of green light. He don't really know. So he's like, I can get the answers I want at the school. So he finally goes to the school. He leaves Tay with Mama Ayu and she's and Aunt Bridget or something like that. And she basically tells him like, don't worry, we got Tay. He's going to be okay. So once he gets to the school, there's a lot that happens once he gets to the school. He starts to have these visions that, you know, his mother might not be dead and that she was trying to resist some form of magic. And there's a secret piece of paper, which I'll tell y'all what the secret piece of paper is called later on, that's super important, that he can possibly bring his mother back. And when she gets to the school, her name ring bells when she get there. It was like, yo, she was like the truth when she got there, almost like Harry Potter Pops Mary and whatever his father name was. Like, they had a name for themselves when they went to the school. Fast forward back, Atia Washington is going missing. And the things that's happening at this school is going to be remarkable once I tell y'all about that in a second. But let's go back. He did see when he was in the gas station, he saw his friend Alexis advocating for the missing children that's going on in New Orleans. They don't know that there's missing children with magic, but she just covering up as missing girls. So Katia Washington is missing. That's one of the bases. That's one of the subplots in the story. When he gets to school, he meets Sivan, Elijah, Professor Kumali, Anye, Alexis, and Dr. Akila. Let me tell you, Elijah and Sivan are twins. Sivan classifies as him, he, she, they are. Sivan is my favorite character in the book. And when you read it, Sivan, LD, hats off to you. Sivan is my favorite character by far. Elijah's cool. D-Lo becomes like, I pray you keep D-Lo in the next book, man. Come on now. And Danye is like a light-skinned Drake, because he even says it in the book. He's like, you fake ass, light-skinned Drake ass Negro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really like each other because Danye and Alexis is real cool, and you're gonna figure out why they real cool, right? So basically, those are the kids that they kind of highlight in the school as far as like his friends. Almost like the similarity between Hermione and Ron and the twins and Malfoy and his henchmen. They got this on this side too. This is our version of that. Danye is like that Malfoy kind of guy, but they still cool because he be hanging with the group a little bit. So basically, so at this school, they have their own fraternities, they have their own sororities, they pledge there. It's like a regular school. They just have magic and other schools don't. It's a lot of different tribes there. It's a lot of different factions there as well. Just like the House of Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and all that, they have their own factions at the school as well. So he meets Professor Kumale, right? And Professor Kumale becomes like a mentor to him, and he teaches like a memory class. So one of the memories, they go back, it's like almost like they go back in time, but they don't go back in time. They use like a memory charm. And Professor, which is like, this is his first interaction with the school system. After he meets Sivan, Danye, all of them, they had that little altercation in the school area where they just meet each other for the first time or whatever the case may be after Alexis introduces them to each other. Malik is still not staying on campus yet. How they get around? They like magically poof around to the schools or whatever the kids may be. Like everybody got their own colors, smoke when they lead a area. I would love an adaptation of this in the movie. I hope Netflix, somebody, Amazon, Hulu, somebody pick it up, because I feel like this deserves a lot more credit. But let's go back. So now they're in class. Professor Kumale is like the memory teacher. They go back into this Haitian Revolutionary War, and they get to see like when the Bon Corps. So the Bon Corps are like the Death Eaters in Harry Potter. The Bon Corps is like they give that type of vibe, right? So they go back and they see how the Bon Corps are formed, and they're formed from a thing called Bane magic. So Bane magic is when you take the dark side of somebody, almost like necromancy, and they use dark objects and they steal other people's magic and they conjure their magic into their bodies, basically like a sacrificial ritual. So that's like the Bane magic. So basically they built that off of Bane magic to try to win the war. So he take them back. They go back in the memories. Malik is seeing everything, the battlefield. He got to break through. Even though they in there, it's still like your memory senses. You still want to duck when you see something. So Malik kind of has these visions that people are coming through to him, talking to him in the vision, like kind of giving him, pre-notated motions or whatever of what's going on in the dream, almost like they knew he was there type deals. So after that, he has like a run in and he sees like the main dude who is the leader of the Bon Corps, Like I love that name. He gets the Bon Corps. So these are the reasons why people feel on the school, they feel like the Bon Corps are back. Like how they was in Harry Potter when they didn't think that the Dark Lord was back, he who must not be named. They feel the same way about the Bon Corps. Nobody's seen the Bon Corps in all of this time because Mama Ayu is the queen. She got rid of all the Bon Corps. She is like the Dumbledore of this whole thing. Like she's the strongest possible magical beings. She's over 200 years old, and like she tell him like she has like this extra spirit because she's like the entity. She lives a lot longer than the average person, but she's also says she's seen a lot as well. She was the one like people, when he gets to the school, Malik get a lot of love because they like, yo, this is the infamous grandmama IU's son. And this kind of enrages Malik a lot more because he's like, oh, y'all all know her better than me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even get to know her like that. Like y'all telling me these stories. I don't really give a damn because I don't really know this lady like that. She left me out to dry. So that's kind of like a little bit of, I kind of bridged both of those together with Mama IU explaining like her reasoning because she's the one who won the war against the Bon cause. So after Malik has a run-in with so then we meet Dr. Akilah Green. She's somebody who teaches like the defenses of the magic field. She's so dope. I thought she was a professor, but she's so dope. She's a doctor and she kind of helps them on the defensive field. Like she has this thing where her and Malik is outside training and, you know, he's getting whirled around. He's getting whipped around, you know, because he needs to show his magic. And when he finally actually does show his magic, she sees that she sees that he is so strong, like he's conjuring up a different type of magic, and that kind of helps him out in his battle against Dr. Akilah Green, which is a significant part because you get to see that Malik comes from a bloodline of royalty with his magic. So after more events keep taking place, kids are missing, more kids go missing. Like they have a student app around the school because they're not allowed to share their magic with the world. So people in the real world don't know about their magic. So instead of them having like a social media app like a Twitter, Instagram, they have their own magic, not a magical app, but they have their own app that they can communicate with each other, and they have parties and stuff like that. So, and they get around and things of that nature. So, you know, when all of this stuff happened with the Bon cause, Chancellor Tarrant feels that it's safer for Malik to, and throughout the book, Chancellor Tarrant and Malik butt heads throughout the whole book. And they don't really like each other. You know what I mean? Like, cause certain things keep happening with situations with with Malik, and Chancellor Tarrant kind of scolds him almost like a snake type person, you know, what he did with HP, he doing it with Malik as well. So I see where the similarities in that is concerned. So after that, you know, they have to stop him because his magic is getting out of control. They stop him from like, you know, tearing up the whole damn school, and they realize like, yo, he got something in him. So after they chill out like that, Malik goes back to his dorm room. Alexis come through and she's like, yo, I need you to do me a favor. Can you come with me somewhere? So he's like, cool. They go to this graveyard. And this is where I felt like betrayal was going to set in. So Yosemite Sam and Malik gets on this, like, I guess the little boat thing. And Sam is they going through the little bayou, and they kind of desolate from the world, and they come to this graveyard. We see that in this graveyard lies the two killers of Katia Washington. Yo, Alexis is so dope. She conjures their bodies up. And like, yo, y'all thought that y'all was going to sleep in peace? Hell no, y'all not going to sleep in peace. There's no way I'm not going to let y'all sleep in peace. She basically resurrects them to give them a torturous life for the rest of their lives. She definitely uses it's more in the scene, but I'm just giving you the overall view of what happened. She basically raised them up, tortured them while they were still dead, and put them in a torturous abyss for the rest of their lives. On the other side, they don't get to sleep well. Like she said, y'all don't get to rest in peace while Katia Washington, while y'all took her life and y'all sucked the energy from her. No, y'all don't get to live that life. So she dug their ass up and tortured them again. So when Malik kind of sees this, he's like, yo, you using a form of dark magic. Like, we not supposed to use this. And she kind of give him like that Killmonger speech. And he said it to her, like, yo, you sounding real hella Killmongerish right now. And she just kind of go off like, yo, what's the use of having these powers if you ain't gonna use it? So she basically like, yo, you not with me, you against me. Like, I'm trying to create a world where we could be safe, where we can not be scared of the Bon cause. These kids need our help. They disappearing, and I'm gonna do something to stop it. So she's like, basically, like, she did give me that killer mug. I was like, y'all got all of this vibranium and y'all could have been out there saving black people and you not. She feel like, yo, we got all of this magic and we got to keep it bottled up here and the world can't know about it. She like, yo, we could be helping thousands of people out there. We could be helping kids come back to the school. People from little girls and not little girls, but teenagers and people going missing. They getting their magic stolen from them. We could do something about it, Malik. So that's kind of like the little disagreement they had there. And you get to see Sam. Sam is like he's my second favorite character. They leave from the graveyard and then they kind of have a falling out where they don't speak for a while. And like they go through these situations where They not talking. He's like, yo, I ain't really messing with her right now. Like, I don't really care. And then we come to the dodgeball game. So then Malik, let me go back. Malik has to stay on the campus now because more kids is going missing. And the school has a problem right now. They can't get students to enroll because parents don't want to send their school kids to the school because a lot of kids is going missing. A lot of people, kids that they sent there that got magic powers is dying and getting the power drained. So a lot of parents is like, nah, we not sending to school, which, listen, the world can go by on magic. They can have all this magic, but if money they ain't making, you know what I'm saying, ain't helping the school, then we can't stay afloat. So a lot of people is worried, like all the kids is worried about there won't be no next semester if nobody's coming to school because parents are pulling their kids out. Then we get into this. So the Malik, Chancellor Tarrant is like, yo, I got to keep you at the school. I got to keep you safe. Malik is obviously hesitant to do it. He kind of goes back and forth with Chancellor Tarrant. So he's like, man, I don't want to be in this school. I want to go home. I got my little brother Tay over there. So him and Mama IU kind of have this little meeting. They kind of agree that he need to stay over there. They tell him that Tay is good. He's not going to want anything. He's going to be good. So he winds up going in there and he winds up rooming with D-Lo. D-Lo is obviously, to me, it would stand for down low, but D-Lo is his bisexual roommate who you're going to love D-Lo because he's the truth, man. He's the truth. The only thing I thought was funny is that when Malik came in the first day, my son was clapping some dude cheeks in there. I was like, yo, this is wild, but it happens at campus, man. So D-Lo's his roommate. After kids keep disappearing, they kind of want to make it seem like they want all the kids to be on campus, and they got like a magical spell around the school. So then they got this dodgeball game coming up where it's like the factions are playing each other, right? And obviously I knew this type of scene was going to play out where you got Danye on one side and you got Malik on one side, and obviously the girl in the middle is Alexis, right? So then they not supposed to use magical powers, but then, you know, they throwing like a magic fireball dodgeball. So then that's when Danye uses real magic and puts like a fire thing around the jump. After they throwing everybody else out, obviously they was going to be the last two. This dude threw a joint at Malik, and Malik's side it hit Malik on the side, and he started burning up. Fire all around him. So he was like, this motherfucker Danye using motherfucking magic. Just like that. Like, I like the language. I ain't gonna lie, I like the language. So then Malik kind of go at him. I think he put Danye through a wall or something. Then they came and broke it up, or whatever the case may be. They go into Chancellor Tarrant office, and Chancellor Tarrant is like, yo, why you, so after he told him like, yo, this motherfucker using magic is, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Chancellor Tarrant's like, is this true? Danye use magic, whatever. He like, yeah. He like, this fake Drake light skin looking mother. Yo, he was just tearing Danye up, man. Danye get his revenge later on, but he was tearing Danye up. So Danye wound up getting a week suspension, and I think he threw some chains or something on Malik, some magical chains, so Malik couldn't go nowhere. And then him and Chancellor Tarrant arguing, beefing. I ain't really care for that too much because I was like, yo, why are you beefing with Chancellor Tarrant? He doing his job. You know, he trying to make sure that kids is in school. Nobody else is going missing. So what's the issue for? So he still finds a way to leave because he want to check up on Tay, and he got more questions from Mama IU. That's when they go, and he go back to Mama IU house, and then they go to this like event that Chancellor Tarrant mom's, this is Bon Claire, she's having like an event or whatever the case may be, and that's when you go over there and you get a chance to see his mother, because they kind of describe her as a like I guess bougie person, and she really is like a bougie person described in the book. They got butlers, big houses and all that, so you can tell that she's somebody in the book. Malik goes off at the whole function about missing children because he finally realized, he heard them talking about the Bon cause, but they keep saying everything is all right and they ain't gonna do nothing about it. So he like, yo, he kind of go off, and now he see where Alexis was coming from. He like, yo, this is what Alexis was talking about. She was really saying like, talking about the missing kids, and they know the Bon cause is out there and they not willing to do nothing about it. These are all some of the highest people in magic, some of the highest tribes. After he kind of have that little spill, him and Mrs. Bonclair go up and they had this conversation, and she kind of scolds him the whole time, saying like she being real fake with him throughout their whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? He was talking to just her, the same thing about missing kids, what you gonna do there. He was talking about you the famous, she was saying like you the famous bastard child type deal. You're Mama Ayu's grandson or whatever. Then Mama Ayu coming in like they respect Mama Ayu. I will tell you that right now. They fully respect Mama Ayu. They not about to give her no lip, no none of that. After that, Malik goes back to the dorm and he's attacked. We don't know by who, but someone like in a black shadowy figure, like him and Malik get it on, but they leave out, but Malik still gets scratched up. So after that, they come back in there. Everybody checked on him, making sure he was all right. It's like almost like one of them Deathly Hollow joints where they come and attack HP. It was kind of like, I seen like that similar vibe. After that, Malik still want answers. Him and Mama Ayu, and I can't give you every detail of the book because I'm trying to make it short. I'm trying to keep this under 40 minutes, y'all, so bear with me. Mama Ayu and Malik go back to the old crib because we found out that Mr. Caldwell and Sonia was murdered, and they was murdered by Boncourt. So when Malik and his grandmoms get there, they use like this memory chat spell, and they get to see like how did they die. Basically, Miss Sonia went to the door. As soon as she opened the door, son threw her against the wall, killing her. Instantly, she starts to bleed out. They grab up Caldwell, ask him where such and such is at. They basically looking for the scroll of Edon. That's the piece of paper right there. They looking for the scroll of Edon. So then after that, they show that they're murdered. They murdered them or whatever the case may be. And Malik feel bad because he feel like they shouldn't have been killed. Everything was because of him. After that, they go back to Malik crib and they get to see everything. They basically get to see everything because Mama Ayu wanted to see what was going on. They find out that the moms had like a secret stash under the crib and all that. Once they activate that, they come and see the Boncourts come in there. You get to see Mama Ayu flashing her magic. And that's like the first real battle. It's Malik and his grandmoms going crazy with the Boncourts. And he like, yo, I never seen Mama Ayu dance with elegance like that. As far as like her magic, it just looked like she's like that for real. So after that fight, they go back to the school. They realize now the Boncourts is out, man. They back and they ready. They looking for vengeance. So throughout the book, Bleak keep getting these memory hints dropped on him, right? So him and Taryn come together, and then that's when Malik realizes that, yo, Taryn was a part of the group that killed my moms, but all is not what it seems to be. Basically, all of these memories in Malik's brain that's showing all of these good memories was poison, right? They was made memories that made his mother seem like she was an angel. There's a big fight that happens on Mama Ayu property, and this is getting towards the end of the book. Professor Taryn, or Chancellor Taryn, and his group of people are the ones who stopped Malik's mother. Malik's mother is a Boncourt. Malik's mother practices in dark magic. So the whole time Malik was looking for his moms, she was really the person who was the evil one in the whole book. There's a big battle at Mama Ayu's crib, and that's when you realize that Professor Kumale was a traitor. Professor Kumale, again, is a Boncourt, or was a leader, the so-called leader. He's the one who resurrected the Boncourts because he wanted to see his dead brother again. Danye is a Boncourt, and so is Alexis. So all of these people were Boncourts. So they basically have like, so right after they go from the crib over there to Malik crib and they get in the fight, that's when everything start to break down. You realize, like I said, Professor Kumali is a Boncourt, so is Danye, so is Alexis. Like all of these people betrayed Malik. And you get to see this, that they was playing on his emotions with his memories. They was playing with his emotions, putting these memories in there from his mom's chain, from Chancellor Taryn ring. So he thought that Chancellor Taryn killed his moms, but it really wasn't like that because his visions was cloudy. It really was Alexis and them playing mind games with him, and he had these foggy memories that really became clear once he really thought about it. So basically, I would say they called something else, I can't remember the name, but I'll say the order. The order was like Chancellor Taryn, because him and Malik moms used to be in love back in the day. But whole time when they came and attacked Chancellor Taryn at his house one night, it was Malik moms that killed his wife and that killed his kid because she was in love with him. But he was like, yo, you in that dark magic, so I can't really mess with you right now. That's not the route that I want to take. And he tries to stop her, but he can't. And she's a Boncourt. So this whole time, Malik moms was a Boncourt, and Chancellor Taryn was trying to stop her, not kill her, but just stop her. So that was like one of the things that I felt like that came to light that was good in the books. So now that he realized that Malik realized Chancellor Tarrant wasn't the one who was trying to kill his mother. He was trying to stop his mother. That's when you realize you see what Danye was. So Danye's reasoning for being a Bancor and hating Malik was because out of the 4 people that night that came that Malik thought was going to kill his moms, those was the people. 2 of them people was Danye's parents, and they was trying to seal her away. They wasn't trying to kill her. They was trying to basically banish her. But Malik activated his powers and Chris fried everybody. So Danye's reasoning for betraying Malik, well, not really betraying Malik because he ain't like him from the beginning of the book, but his reason for being a Bancor was that he wanted revenge because Malik, when his powers activated, killed his parents, understandably so. Malik like, yo, I was a kid. I didn't even know I had those powers. I didn't even know what was happening. And he was like, I don't care. Like, so they was part of the Divine Elam. That's the name right there. Chancellor Tarrant, Danye Pops, and another professor who they said was an outstanding professor was part of the Divine Elam. And they're the ones who came that night and tried to, they banished Malik moms. But in that same instance, they all died by the hands of Malik. So they chilling one night. They having after the fight they have a big fight where it was like Professor Kumale, Dr. Akila, Chancellor Tarrant, Mama Ayu, everybody going crazy. Danye, like everybody was fighting. It was the Bancors on Mama Ayu's property. Just think of like one of them big hog war fights at the end of the movie. That's how it was with the scenery, with everybody fighting each other. Obviously, Kumale and Danye was on the Bancor side. So after this fight happened, right, they put a spell over the house. Tay gets a message from his girlfriend, which was Malik's, which is weird because it was like part of Malik's family or whatever. He was dating one of Malik's cousins. She get a text, so he's walking out, I guess, into the woods or whatever when he gets pulled out. That was the only way that they could get from Mama Ayu. So it was Alexis. We find out that it was Alexis who sent that text, and she was the one who was looking like Shorty and pulled Tay out of that protection spell. And that's when you find out that Danye and Alexis was working with him all the time, and she manipulated from Malik to get the necklace from her because they're looking for the scroll of Edon. This is when I feel like the story took a turn for me, when you find out that these 3 people were Bancors, because I knew it was going to be somebody under his nose, and I had a feeling it was going to be Danye just because they already made Danye seem like he was that type of a person. So I already knew they was going to go that route. They have another battle, a small battle where it ensued, and that's when you get to see Malik's mom come out of nowhere. She was under that tree or brought back through that tree where the scroll of Edon was, or whatever the case may be, or she wants the scroll. She don't have her magic. It's like the rising of he who must not be named, right? Like at the end of the movie, at the end of the book, you see that Malik moms come back and she kind of like fronting, and Malik finds out the truth that she was really into that dark magic. She wasn't as holy and all thou as you thought she was. So I felt like he portrayed that, he got that set up for the next book, and you get to see, like, because they didn't kill Dr. Kumale. Well, he did kind of violate Danye, sent Danye packing, but you got to see where he sent Danye at. But Kumale's still out there, Alexis is still out there. They said they was going to strip her magic, and now Malik moms is out there. Danye pokes up Mama Ayu from behind, stabs her, and then she basically, like, she don't die, but her magic is getting weak. But at the end of the book, we find out that, because I'm gonna wrap this up, we find out that Malik becomes the new Mama Ayu. Mama Ayu passes along the song she was humming that she used to sing to him throughout the book. She used to always sing that song, but the song was relegated to the scroll of Edon, and that's how Malik figures it out. So he basically absorbs all that magic after Mama Ayu dies. And obviously it's more into it. I'm just giving you like the overview with the spoilers. Still read the book, even though I'm telling you about the book. There's still more stuff in there that you might find interesting, or stuff that I might not have talked about on here, because I'm telling you, if I spoke about the whole book, this will be a 2-hour podcast. Trying to do it in under 40 minutes and I'm close. So basically Mama Ayu died. They have a ceremony almost like that T'Challa type ceremony in Black Panther 2. They give her that respect because she's a goat. They basically get away. Everybody get away. His moms get away. Kumale get away. And they know that they're setting up now for the next jump. When they get back to school, him and Chancellor Tarrant have like a squashing of the beef. You know what I'm saying? Like Then he asks him, is he his father? Kind of that scene was kind of crazy. He tells him that Alexis is going to get her power taken from her and that her memory is going to be wiped. So she's going to be a regular person and stripped of all her powers. He tells him like, yo, your mother was out there. I told you I was trying to stop her. You know, she's going to be coming for us or whatever the case may be. This ain't over by a long shot. That's basically how they gave it away. Like they had the big battle, right? On Mama Ayu's yard. She passes away. They do the aftermath of everything that happens. And then we get to the end of the book. And that's when Malik kind of realizes like, yo, I do got friends with D-Lo. When D-Lo and them came up in there too with the fight, D-Lo, Savon, Elijah, they all came in there ready too. You know what I'm saying? They came in there with the cop who I think his name is Anton. He used to be with them too back in the day, but he kind of gave a little bit of his magic up. But let me tell you, man, his friends had his back. I was surprised. I was shocked. I was ready for D-Lo and the twins to come through. The twins is giving me life throughout the whole book. Savon, I love you. But again, this book, then Malik absorbs the power. That's kind of like the end of the book. He kind of give his little soliloquy saying, I know my mama's out there. I know she's going to be coming for us. I got to go back to the school. I got to get ready. You see Sam takes over. He's like the new person in charge for Mama I, like in Mama Ayu spot. They adopt Tay and Tay going to be living with them. They're going to take care of him so Malik could go and focus on his studies. He go back to school. They get a new professor and then it's done. But that's kind of like a little, like my synopsis of the book. It's a lot of stuff that I didn't mention that I could have, but I still want you to get the book. This is my way of giving you the spoilers to get you interested in the book. This is the lounge. If you like being here, we like you being here. Thank you. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.